Hello everybody, my name is Fernando.Valdez. The purpose of this video is to show you the scope of Clarity Enterprise Architecture Management Platform. I will sign in. The platform, it's a cloud software. When we get into the platform, we go directly to the section of advertising and communications. This is corporate communications, where you can find endomarketing messages for the workforce. Now I will use it to explain the content of this video. First, we will see what is Clarity and which companies benefit the most out of it. Clarity is an enterprise architecture platform designed for medium companies, large corporations, but especially medium companies that are in the process of growing and expansion. It can be used by startups, but the companies that benefit the most out of it are franchises and companies which expansion strategy relies on branches, point of sales, and many locations with a large workforce. The main areas of the platform are when you sign in to the platform, you see the advertising and communication, which is this section where you can find banners and messages from the company to the workforce. We also have the administration area, which is restricted to users that can modify, edit, configure the business model of the company, and the general users area, which is the user control panel that shows you what is very urgent for each user. This is a section where you can see your pending tasks, overdue tasks, audit tickets. These are tickets that you receive when you have not compliance in certain regulations, policies, level agreements, etc. And also section which shows which KPIs or OKRs need to be reviewed because the actual value is far from the desired value. That's why we call it the urgent. Also in this screen, you can see all teamworks where you belong. In this case, it shows a sales work team and development work team, and this user belongs to these work teams. And when you get into these work teams, you get into a private space where you can have virtual video conference rooms and a wall to share content and conversations with the members of this specific team. All the members appear on the right side. This is the urgent screen, and it shows also the open audit tickets that you might have if you have not accomplished some goal, or you have not been compliant with specific rules that are audited by someone. The users can navigate the business model, which is structural components of the company, like standard goals and sub-goals in a map, a process map, the organizational units map, and job positions map. The platform uses very intensively trees. In this case, you can see all the process of the company, and each process is divided in sub-activities or sub-processes, and many of them can have several levels of disaggregation. In this way, all the processes of the company are published so everybody can learn about these processes. And also there is here an icon that takes me to all related information linked to this process. This information could be, for example, job positions related to that process, documents or knowledge related to that process, lessons that have been learned and work agreements related to this process, improvement proposals, machinery, equipment, and tools that are used in this process, audit compliance reports, risks that are a threat to these processes, related control actions related to these risks, systems and applications that are linked to this process, and exams that evaluate knowledge required for the execution of this process. This is a way to navigate the process map, and in the same way we can, in the business model, the architecture model, we can navigate goals, standard goals of the company, and on each goal you can see that you can disaggregate goals in sub-goals in several levels and link these sub-goals and goals to documents which usually are measures of achievement of these goals, processes that are linked to these goals, and the job positions that are responsible or participant in the achievement of these goals. There is a section here, my job position, which shows all the information related to my specific job position. From the goals map, I will see only the goals that are related to my job position. I will see the KPIs that are linked to my job position. I will see the process where I participate and how the activities and sub-processes become my job position duties. And also I can see the process where I audit the compliance of any policy or agreement or standards, or the process where I am audited by someone else in the accomplishing or the compliance of specific rules and standards. Here we can find also the corporate university, when I can check the curricula of my specific job positions, my personal library of knowledge, and the exams that I have to submit in order to prove to the company that I already have the knowledge and competencies required for my job position. And finally, I can see a private document section for the documents that are shared only between human resources and my person, regardless of the job position I am in, and also the work teams where I am a member, and my performance information with KPIs and evaluations of my personal performance. In the other section, the other main area of the application, we can see the administration. This area is restricted to the administrators and the architect. In this area, we can find the components of the enterprise architecture itself. Let's start with 4 domains: the business architecture that allow us to build a model including strategic goals and sub-goals, processes which can be structured in macro processes, sub-processes, activities, sub-activities, and tasks. The organizational structure, which refers to organizational units, and the job descriptions catalog, which is the organizational chart with all the job descriptions and job positions existing in the company. We also have a map of machinery, equipment, and tools that shows all existing pieces of machinery, if it is an industrial company, or infrastructure, equipment, tools that are relevant, so it can be mapped in the business architecture. Also, we have risks in the business architecture and control actions to mitigate or reduce or eradicate this risk. Here we see some icons related to the risk management. Also, we can find the data architecture, which contains the database schema of the company, the applications architecture, which is a large map with all existing applications like the ERP, the CRM, WMS, and all the different systems and applications within the company, and the infrastructure architecture, which has servers, printing machines, printing centers, storage, and all hardware and infrastructure architecture that must be managed in a very professional way. We also have the users administration and the risk management model, the task management model, and the corporate university model. Let's start with the easy, rapidly implemented model, the task management model. Clarity has, as you can see in the blue bar, a task model which aims to have control and management of user tasks where the accomplishing on certain dates matters to the business. So every user have a calendar like this, which can be synchronized with OpenLook and Google Calendar, and the tasks that appear here can be generated by the direct boss of the user, by peers, colleagues of the user, and also can be generated in an automatic manner by processes from the process map of the company. For example, if there is a sales process and every week this user has to present a sales report, the process can generate automatically the tasks for presenting the sales report every Friday or every Monday, every week of the year. These tasks can be pending, fail, accomplished, postponed, overdue, or accomplished with delay. And these diverse status of the tasks are used for performance evaluation of each user. Also, we have a corporate university model which aims to develop a specific catalog of knowledge and competencies that must be developed by the people in the company. And with this knowledge and competencies, a curricula is built for each job position. And in order to evaluate the development of this knowledge and competencies, you can create exams, and the exams generate the certification of approval or not approval of each item in the job position curricula. So you can check if a specific user has 50%, 80%, or 100% of the knowledge that is supposed to have in its job position. When it comes to risk management, Clarity Platform allows us to declare which types of risks will be managed within the company architecture. For each different type of risk, we can set, in order to make the valuation of the risk, probability levels, which the exact amount of levels that we want for each different type of risk. Also, impact levels, and we decide the amount of levels that we want in our valuation matrix, which is conform with probability levels and impact levels. We also define the levels of tolerance that we want to establish for each different type of risk, and also we can indicate the level of vulnerability on each situation when we find that a risk is present in the execution of a process. When we define these variables and parameters, we can then get to the risks map, and we can find here all the different types of risk that we are committed to manage in the company, and we can view the parameters, which are the valuation matrix with the probability level of and the impact level, and also the tolerance levels that we have declared as non-acceptable and acceptable with some control actions and acceptable without any control action. After we have parameterized this risk, then we can locate each risk on the process of the process map and declare the presence of a risk. I am going to open the process map. Here we have the process map, and I can go to a specific process or sub-process or activity or task. It doesn't matter the level of detail which I want to go, and I can, using the icon of linking, I can link the process that I selected with a specific risk that it's present in that process. In that moment where I create this link, I will have the chance to make a valuation of the risk, and that valuation and the tolerance levels that I declare will tell me if I am forced to implement control actions or not, or maybe if the company should stop the execution of that process because the level of impact and the level of probability are both too high and the company will not tolerate the consequences of that high level of vulnerability. When the risk and the control actions are set, then we can create tasks for supervising the accomplishment and the compliance of the tasks and the standards and rules and policies that we have set. And then it comes the module of compliance that will let me raise tickets of not compliance whenever a standard, a rule, a policy, a procedure, or a control action is not accomplished or is not executed the way it is supposed to. For these non-compliance occurrences, we have sanctions, and so the people responsible of the non-compliance will have a ticket in the personal history of not compliance. That is a serious fault in everybody's personal history. Finally, we have two very important models, which are the KPI and OKR model, used also for performance evaluation. In this model, we can create enterprise KPIs, personal KPIs, and we can define the level of deviation that we are going to tolerate before generating notifications and alerts. When a KPI reach the level of tolerance, an alert is generated to the person responsible of the KPI, the direct boss as well, and other people you consider relevant to know that the KPI is going in the wrong direction. The KPIs appear to the final users in my job position section in my KPI, and each user can see if he or she is responsible of enterprise KPIs or OKRs and also personal KPIs, like for example the number of improvement proposals submitted, the accomplishing of tasks assigned by the direct boss, the general productivity index, process task accomplishing, and other KPIs. These KPIs can be shown in a graphical way. Finally, the knowledge management and continuous improvement is not a specific model, but is a practice that you can execute in every point of the platform. No matter if you are in the process map, the organizational map, the job positions map, or the systems and machinery map, you can always get into one of these maps and find this icon. And when you click this icon, you can add a lesson learned, which is tacit knowledge that the user wants to share with everybody related with this process. It can be lessons learned, can also be added to department, organizational units, software platforms, job positions, and any given component of the enterprise architecture. And you can also add improvement proposals, and for each improvement proposal you will be able to register the proposal, the definition of the problem, the root cause, the strategy that you are proposing, resources and cost estimation, expected outcome and result, effectiveness indicators, and the proposed team. And you can also attach files, videos, or whatever digital file you want to add to any given improvement proposal or any lesson learned that you are linking to a process, a job position, an application, or any component within the enterprise architecture. This has been a review of the scope of Clarity Enterprise Architecture Management Platform. Thank you.